And a very, very good evening to you from wherever you're tuned to our Farmers Media. Thank you so much for making it on time and for joining us in yet another edition of the Evening Farm Drive. How has your day been? What is the weather like wherever you're tuned in? Karibuni sana to yet another edition where we are talking matters to do with agriculture. It's the planting season. Most of the people are planting. There are some regions which are receiving rains. Unfortunately, huku Kajiado, County 034, we are yet to receive the rains, but we are in the drought situation. I know it's the Christmas period. How are you enjoying your Christmas? Are you spending time with family? Sisi bado tuko tu kwa studio trying to see what farmers are up to during this Christmas season. But as you know, it's the season of sharing. I hope you've shared the extra surplus that you've gotten from your farms. And yes, so tell us how you are spending your Christmas. My name is Jackie Mo. Thank you for being our loyal followers and audience, for always sharing your comments, looking for us, and sharing your insights on the various farming ventures that you practice. And today, we have a very special edition because throughout the year we've been talking about food waste and food loss, and our guest surprisingly looked out for us and asked us to feature him in one of our shows. And yes, this is one special show that you want to listen in and just find out the various technologies that people are employing on their farms. And to get this show started, let me start by introducing our guest all the way from to join us. Collins, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you are somehow disconnecting yourself. Maybe your network.
Oh, sorry. I keep muting my microphone so that you don't have feedback. How are you? How are you spending
Now I can hear
Christmas?
you. Well, I'm on leave actually. It is not even leave. We work sometimes from home and we have to meet clients' demands, isn't it?
True.
So, how is Nairobi?
Nairobi is very hot. We are yet to experience rain. I don't know where you are, if it's raining. Are you planting?
No, it is not raining. No, not yet. It is hot and sunny in Mombasa actually.
Wow. So we are in the same boat. Yes, so we can start by you probably introducing yourself for the benefit of our audience who don't know who Collins is. Probably you can start by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you practice.
Well, Condi Collins from Homa Bay County. I work and live in Mombasa. Professionally, I'm engineer. Occupationally, I'm a farmer and a waste recycler, a waste management person, a waste entrepreneur, or we call it wastepreneur, isn't it? So basically, that's what I do. I'm a father. Yeah.
Wow, very interesting. The titles you mentioned there, you're from Homa Bay. I know Homa Bay County is known for fish farming because you're just at the
Oh, yeah.
lakeside, and then you mentioned you're a farmer. How did you transition from fish farming to farming, and what kind of farming do you practice?
Actually, my grandfather was agricultural engineer, then Omabay district, agricultural officer, engineer officer then. So the passion of farming came from there because he could grow anything back in the village. Of course, I farm fish, not as vegetable. I do a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. You see, I'm still growing it. I want it to be bigger. I just started 1 year ago because the type of farming I'm doing is not the normal type of farming that we normally do here in Kenya. This one is a bit advanced, so it takes time. It needs resources that we have to look for. Resources means money, means time, means energy, isn't it? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm waiting to hear that advanced kind of farming. I'm really interested.
So this advanced type of farming, we are just using water and lights only. You don't use soil. You don't want to get dirty. You don't want to get tired. You don't want to work hard. You just want to work smart. So we can farm in the house. We can farm on the balcony, on the rooftops, anywhere, the desert, anywhere. But we don't use soil. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Does that kind of farming have a name? Because I know of there's a vertical farming, there's hydroponics, there's aquaponics.
Uh,
Now this one that you use light and water, which kind of farming is this?
it is kind of the same, but this one is called aquaculture. We can farm fish with the plants together because we don't use even fertilizer. Even our fertilizers, we don't use it there. But we make fish underground, make the ponds at underground, down the floor. Then the fish poops are our fertilizers. So we can, the fish poops, then that water, we use it to get the plants nutrients so that plants can grow. So it's like a circular system. The fish poops are nutrients to the plants.
Very
So basically, that's
interesting.
what we do.
You had told me this kind of farming earlier. I would not have looked for you to discuss today's topic, but nevertheless, I'll be looking up for you in the coming year to tell us more about this kind of advanced farming. But today we want to talk about food waste, and we know food waste is one of the most challenging issues humankind currently facing worldwide. Nevertheless, reduction of the current level of food waste must be accompanied by better management of waste. And that's why we invited you, Collins, because we know you just said you're a wastepreneur. Tell us a little bit about waste. And keeping in mind, you've mentioned that the kind of farming you do, you don't do soil and you don't want to get dirty. So tell us about the wastepreneur part of your venture.
Well, waste is something huge, isn't it? You know, when we waste, we pollute the environment, we pollute the air, we pollute the soil. We have a lot of landfills on the soil. But why should we waste food yet other people go hungry? It is not quite well, isn't it? So this is why we came up with waste management, especially the organic waste. However, right now we are working on a project on how we can recycle the waste like sanitary towels into gas, but this is a project of 2025. So let us focus on the organic waste, of which it is agricultural waste or food waste, isn't it? So people waste food in terms of farming, transportation, and eating. When a farmer farms, maybe the tomatoes, there will be lack of transportation to the market. This will lead to the rotten tomatoes or the spoiled tomatoes to get wet. The moment they get the soil there, they will produce a lot of landfills that affect the environment. So we came up with a project plan that can take all this waste, then recycle them, make them useful into other means of product. For example, can you hear me?
Second.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So if waste was a country, then it could be the largest country in the world after USA and after China in terms of carbon dioxide production in the world. Because the amount of food waste that people waste can feed up half of the world. But how do people waste food? I've talked about type of farming, infrastructure that we lack in Africa, and maybe the family. You see, someone can go to the market and buy a lot of tomatoes. Maybe this person will just eat one or two. But instead of giving another to a neighbor, this orange will be shortened. it will be disposed. These are means of food. But you see, we can encourage this into waste recycle process and also in the food security system. So there are two factors that we can work out. Actually, we are working now: food security and waste management. Food security in how? In terms of food management. How do we manage our food? We donate foods. For example, if we have MOU with Naivas or Broadways, the company that makes bread, then we or Java House, for example, then you tell them, you guys, we have this coffee here that can expire in 3 months' time or in 2 weeks' time. So if you don't have clients for this period, it will expire, isn't it? Why don't you give us this for a little price or give us, then we donate to the refugee or to the orphanage, fortunate people. So instead of dumping it on the waste management side to affect the environment negatively, we will take this as fresh as it before expiry date, then we donate to refugees, to orphanages, to less fortunate people. But when it expires, we recycle. If we go to Naivas, we have a contract with them, then we tell them, you see, this tomato over here, this bread over here can expire into 2 weeks' time. We will give you 20 bob of each. We will give you 10 bob. We will give you 30 bob. Give us this bread, 2 weeks to expiry date. We donate to orphanages, to refugees, to less fortunate people. But the moment it expires, we recycle. Recycle into organic fertilizer, which is in form of powder. We are working on it in form of tablets, in form of liquid. Food waste comes in form of three things: solid food waste and liquid food waste, of which we have water and the soup. So we don't want the soup that we normally drink to get wasted in the land that produce landfills. So this liquid part of it, we can make liquid fertilizer. The liquid fertilizer is the same as the granular fertilizer that I sent you over. So we can recycle food waste into fertilizer in form of powder, liquid, tablet, and the granular fertilizer. All these are very organic, no chemicals. But you see, when the food comes to us, it is wet, isn't it? So we have to decompose it to be dry because the factory can't recycle something wet. So right now we are still not on that advanced stage of making it dry in that second. So we have other means that we make it dry maybe after 30 minutes, after 1 hour, then we cycle. But right now I'm working on a project that I'm creating a bacteria that this bacteria will decompose these things, the food waste, in a matter of seconds. This bacteria will make it dry, will make the food waste dry. You know, we have to segregate the solid part and the liquid part. The liquid part is the soup, and the solid part is the particles that we have. So this bacteria we have here will dry the solid part of it within a matter of time, seconds, so that our production can be increased. So right now I'm creating a bacteria that can dry that food waste in a matter of seconds. Also, this bacteria, you know, food waste comes in different type of colors. When you look at the colors of it, we have some are dark, some are, because people use a lot of chemicals to make their food. We call them food nutrients. No, the food color that people use. So this bacteria can give us this color. This color will help us in dyeing the clothes. It can be a dyeing agent. Because remember, we have to recycle food waste into clothes, our vision 2030, and in medicine. Food waste into clothes is a nice project. How do we make this? How do we make food waste into clothes? So this bacteria, if you put them into food waste, we'll get that color that we want. The color is not chemicalized. It is non-organic. It is organic. But the kind of color we have to make clothes right now, like the cloth I wear, it is blue kind of shade. This is non-organic. This chemical color. But you see, our color will be sustainable. You can wear it with proud because it is not chemical. If you take this bacteria to the sea of Mombasa, the imaginary color of that sea is sky blue, isn't it? Take that sky blue color, when then we dye our fabric cloth, they all from the food waste. If you take example of food waste that we can get clothes from, is pineapple, is oranges, the peels that people throw. They are good in fabric. Remember all days when people used to fabric clothes from cottons, from sisals, isn't it? So the pineapple peels, the peels of oranges, the banana peels, they have good fabrics, good quality of fabrics that can make clothes. So right now we are designing a machine that can give us those fabrics, that can collect the fabrics from the of bananas, oranges, and pineapples. But you see, all these are waste, but we can convert it into money. So our project, which on 2030 will focus on clothes, food waste to clothes. Another thing we can make out of food waste, which is sustainable, is medicine. If you eat food, we eat sima, and you get carbohydrates from it. Why can't we make medicine called carbohydrates from it? They say one apple a day keeps a doctor away, isn't it? But if someone wastes apple, the apple peels that people waste, why can't we make tablet out of it? If I lack blood, maybe my blood count is too low, and the doctor tells you, you go eat mchicha or go eat tomatoes. And there's medicine called Afron. I don't know if that's the type, if that's the name of it, but something like that. That people, when you have a low blood count, the doctor advises you that go and buy that tablet, then it will add the blood count into your system. But what if we take tomatoes, for example, the mchicha, then that people waste from the garden, then okay, we just sit down and we say, okay, we want to make recycle this tomato into tablets, into quinine, you see, so that people can just make it as natural as that without chemicals nowadays. You know, most of these medicine nowadays we take, there are a lot of chemicals that are addictive. And that's why you see most people, when they use the tablets, they get a lot of ulcers because these things are very addictive. But we're focusing on more sustainable life that can help us expand. Maybe I can live at 50, for 50 years. I can live for 60 till 20 because I don't consume a lot of chemicals. And that's as natural as that. From my clothes to medicine and to my food, isn't it? And to where, of course, and to where I live. So that is what we are trying to do. But at the moment, it is food waste and fertilizer.
Oh, that's very interesting. I never imagined that we could actually recycle food waste to clothes, and I'm wondering of the durability of that cloth and how it will come out. But how did
That
you end up
that
in
cloth.
recycling food waste? Because you mentioned you're an engineer, and I think engineers deal with machinery. So how did you end up into food waste? Tell us a little bit about the kind of waste that you recycle, how you go about it, and probably take us through how you recycle the waste.
How I came up into recycling or waste management department or field. I was taking my PhD in Singapore, master's and PhD in Singapore. You see, when you are in a foreign country and your skin is different from them, you go a lot of stuff like racism. You can't quite well cope with them, isn't it? So maybe you can go to the supermarket, you kill, then people just jump on you. They see you like, oh, you are nothing to them. So I was in one of the apartments, and my neighbor, I think he had a lot of food, you see. So I got employed as I was studying, but my contract was over. So I couldn't quite much afford the amount to pay rent, the amount to pay for school fees. Since so you have kids, you have to go to school and you have to eat. I hope you are getting me. Hello.
Yes, I'm getting you.
So we went hungry for 1 week without food because I had lost my job. I had no income. But my neighbor had a lot of food. But because of our skin colors. So I was out looking for a job, then I met someone of which today we are friends. Then she told me that you can make something out of something. I didn't know how, but she bought me a banana. Then when I peeled it, in Singapore, we just don't just throw away waste like we do in Kenya. So I peeled it, then put it on the table. Then she asked me, "Why are you throwing that away?" Then I told her it is waste. It's a peel. See? She said, "No, you can eat it because there are some people normally they eat it. They just wash it and eat it. It is good for the stomach actually." And I said, "Wow, how can I eat this peel?" Then she led me by example. Then she told me this one, these things here. You know, in banana peels, there are something like threads. They're medicinal. They help in stomach constipation. When you eat those threads or the outer cover of the banana, you won't have the stomach problems. So I started learning that process from that lady. She guided me over and over. And then she told me this thing, you can recycle it into this, you can work it into this, you can create medicine out of it, you can create clothes out of it. Just go and do research on that. So I got interested on waste management because of this lady. So I started my engineering work a little bit to focus on waste management. So as I was studying, interacting with the people, I started doing a lot of research work on waste management. Then I visited one of the countries in the USA that it is called Waste Management Company. With them, they do a lot of type of waste management. A lot. Is it food waste? Is it cotton waste, paper waste, metallic or e-waste? So I got a lot of interest in waste management because of this lady. You know, something can drive you to get a passion. Anger can drive you out of your comfort zone. Someone, I say, can just come to you, then help you out from nowhere. Someone can just come to you, then activates your dream. Your dreams, you can achieve your dreams through someone you never even know. So that's how I got interest in waste management. So being engineer is just a professional mode, a professional kind of just my profession. But my passion is farming and waste management. I work for my passion. I don't work for my profession. It is my passion that feeds me and my family. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very moving
So this
story you've
passion,
shared there. And I'm actually going to update it on my Facebook. You can make something out of something. And it's very interesting when you're talking about food waste because just as the name suggests, it's waste. Like, do you buy
yes.
the food waste that you recycle? Where do you get the waste? And is the waste that you get enough for you to make a lot of fertilizer? How much waste do you require for recycling for fertilizer?
The current waste is not enough for us, but right now we are just doing 2 tons. Um, we imported a machine in 2020, a commercial machine for food waste recycling. from Germany. But you see, it is expensive. So when it came to the port, just know how the government works. You have to pay a lot of tax for it. So we are still working with the government on how we can get our machine back because we have a lot of tax to pay that we didn't expect. But for now, we're using the little machine that we have that can produce the little cans, the 2 cans. However, the food waste we are doing right now is not even enough for us because if you walk around, you see a lot of food waste all over. People are wasting a lot all over. So what we are trying to do, or where we get the food waste, is the apartment, the residential areas, the government offers that was the offices, and we have some people we have employed that bring us waste from the collection points. But we want to make it so advanced that we don't want to make other people look like their job is so inferior that they are always dirty in this field. You see, people don't like this field because the nature of it. Sometimes it is eyesore. It is dirty. You see, people don't like such environment. So we have some ATMs, the food waste collection ATMs, that when they arrive in the country, we will get to see them. We will place them inside the mall, inside the banks, inside the offices, on the buildings, on the roads, whereby if you have a banana peel, we just drop it there. If you have a food that you want to donate, you just drop it there. If you have maybe a leftover of ugali, you just drop it there. And so when this ATM is full, the notification will be given to the driver next to it, next to that area. When it is full, it will reflect on our system so that the driver will just get his or her that ATM number in such a location is full, someone can pick it. So these ATMs are in a way that we can't mix the food waste and the paper waste. There are signets in it. Maybe this one is a food waste, this one is fresh food only, or this one is a paper waste, or this one is a food waste. They are signets. So these ATMs are in advanced form, simple to use. Just like you withdraw money on ATMs, it just directs you, just follow the prompts. If you want to donate food, just place it there. If you want to give us your food waste, just make it the other side. So hopefully by next year, we'll see the ATMs, our ATMs nearest you, whereby you can donate food. We have a food bank where people donate food. I had talked about it earlier. We have a place where we can store it, then donate them. We have a place where we can store the waste food, then recycle them. But this one still is not enough because we are still in the market. We are still slow in the market. We are still down in the market. But it is a baby step. We walk slowly by slowly. We can't start huge, then we fall. It's better we start little by little, then we move upward slowly. So the food waste we are getting right now is from just poultry in Mombasa and Kilifi. But food waste is large. It is large. Hopefully we will cover the whole of Africa, the whole of East Africa. And one day I know we will be importing food waste from other countries. I know that. If you look at countries like Singapore, look at countries like Poland, they import waste from other countries. Poland imports waste from Germany, from neighboring countries. Why do they import waste yet we don't even want waste? Because the waste ends in the ecosystem. If you burn waste, the waste plants breathe because of waste. Animals are alive because of waste. So we have to minimize the amount of waste in our system. Plants can't survive without waste. They can't. So they need that waste. That's why you see countries like Poland, they import waste to balance the ecosystem. And maybe one day in Kenya, we'll be importing waste to balance our ecosystem. We want to be as sustainable, as green as possible. Another project I want to talk about is that we we are soon starting to recycle the newspaper into trees or plants. You can read your newspaper. After reading it, you just tear it and just throw it in the garden, and it just grow. So I've talked to some media houses like the Nation Media House, the Standard Group, for now we can incorporate our seeds into their system so that when you have to process the newspaper, we produce the newspaper that we can read in the morning, then in the evening. This one can boost the economy. So you read the newspaper in the morning, by noon it expires. In the evening you get a new newspaper. I think this one is good. After reading it, you just tear it, throw it away, then it grows into beautiful plant, beautiful flower. So this one we're working with them because we don't want any waste totally in our country. We just want to live as sustainable as possible, as green as possible. So the bacteria we're talking about, right now in partnership with the UN, actually we'll read our newsletter maybe early next month. For now, we were to clean Nairobi River actually, but you see our government work, there's a lot of corruption, we don't have money. Because this bacteria could have helped. We wanted this color, the black color, so that we can use it in our factory as a dyeing agent for the fabric clothes. But luckily we were kicked out because no one knows that we don't have a good fire. So, but this bacteria could have helped in the Nairobi River cleaning because it's something just dip it there, then it cleans everything. It eats plastic, it eats those food waste, it converts water into transparent, then it's just clean like that. Then it just gives us that sustainable color that we want. So these are just projects that we do a research on them in our laboratories, then we work with them. That's what we currently do.
Wow, those are very nice missions and visions that you have. I've liked the idea of having the ATMs where people can actually donate food and have the food banks and the waste food and for recycling. I've liked the idea and I would really like for it to be rolled out countrywide. But talk about the resources. How easy or hard has it been setting up this entire project? And also talk about the machines that you shared with me and how you process the food, how you separate the liquid food waste from the solid waste, and what you do with the others, because I know waste is huge. There's the waste that can be recycled to fertilizer, there's the waste that can be recycled to gas. How do you separate and ensure that it's not creating a harmful impact on the environment?
The segregation of waste. I talked earlier about employing other people because when we get from maybe a part of maybe offices, it is not just food waste. Maybe someone can eat, then use the wipes or the serviette, then drops it inside the food. Or maybe someone, when someone orders food online, maybe from Glovo, there's that container, isn't it? That they mix with food inside it. Maybe someone will mix this container, the parcel, with the food waste. So we have to segregate it from the parcel and the food waste. We have people doing that, but people don't like doing it. Our machine right now cannot do that. So we have to employ people that do the segregation of the waste. But the current machine, the advanced machine that we imported, can do that. It is. I thought I sent you that video actually, but I didn't. When the truck driver brings the food waste into the system, it has a lot of water. I'll send you that video receipt. You'll see it. It has a lot of water and a lot of solid waste. This water is so kinda, it is a waste. So the moment it gets discarded into the chamber, automatically it will be separated. The lighter waste, which is a solid, will move separate way, which is right, and the heavier waste, which is solid waste, will be constant there. It will be pressed, pressed until it dries out. The lighter one, which is solid, which is liquid, will move to right into another different chamber, of which it will be cleaned, purified,
So that's the video
and
you're
then
talking about. The one that is playing.
Uh, no. I didn't send you. I didn't send you that. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But I sent you whereby the food waste is being pressed, isn't it?
This one that is
Where the food
playing.
waste is being. Which one? Yes, this one. No, the other one. Where's the other one?
That one.
Where's the other one?
That one.
Is it only that one?
There's another one that looks like a pit.
Like a pit here.
So that's the beginning of the process when the waste
What
is brought.
happens here? You can see this one. Yeah, this one. The waste is being pressed, isn't it? So right now we are using this one. The waste is being pressed, isn't it? To get rid of the water inside it. If you look down, clearly down there, they are pressed deep so that the liquid in it drips down, so that we can only deal with the dry waste, and the liquid waste we deal it with separately because we can't mix them. If you mix them, it can't work that way. So if you look at the other video that I sent you, there are some red particles, isn't it? Those are some papers, those are some boxes, of which are organic, not chemical. They're organic. But they are from sludge. You know, sludge can also make a good organic fertilizer.
That one.
Yeah, you can see it there, the rest. So about the money that we imported, different from this one. Because the one we are import is advanced. A lot of it is very, it is computerized. Then it can produce 80 tons, 180 to 200 tons per week of organic fertilizer. Be it tablet, be it liquid, be it granular, produces that. So right now we are just using what we have right now, just we imported earlier in 2019 when we were starting. About the finances, we are still looking for partnership, the partners we can work with, because right now I'm just working alone. What I'm using actually is part of my earnings. You know, they say in Kenya, engineers earn very little money, but when you get contract, maybe 3 weeks contract, maybe 1 month contract abroad, it's good money that can help you build some part of the machine or some part of your project. So right now, the incomes I get, maybe from I get hired right now abroad, maybe for 2 months, 1 month, 2 weeks. The money I get, I spend a little bit of it. So that's what I do. I've not got any partnership on that whatsoever. I'm not looking for partnership also because I want to make it alone myself first. I want to make it like 80% of it myself, so that when someone comes in, he finds me someone. I've got a lot of proposals on my table from JICA, the Japanese organization, from Korea, the Netherlands embassy, but I just want to do it alone. I just want to see my strength a little while. So in Elemea, I just give them a low to come in.
Nice.
So the most difficult thing is starting something. Starting something is difficult thing because when you start a project like that, you find yourself lonely sometimes. You know, building a company is hard because sometimes pleasure time is becoming rare. Family feel distance. Pleasure time is a past tense. Sometimes you get broke. Sometimes you don't know where you want to start from. But when the day ends, when the day comes, you find yourself energized. You've thought, you know where to start again. So for now, I just find it alone, then 80%. Then we are building a factory a very, very big factory. I'll show you the video of it, a 3D of it, of which right now it has been approved by NEMA, it has been approved by the Construction Authority of Kenya, and now we are waiting for just to go ahead of it. So our factory will be 3 in 1. A research, it is called RAW, Research and Analysis Wing, Waste Management Wing, Food Banking Wing. It will be 3 in 1 factory, a modern factory with offices, with hotels, with lodges in Kilifi. So that's what we are working on currently.
Very nice. You're actually the first farmer who I've interviewed and is saying his vision is looking to put a food bank. Most of the farmers usually cry for market, they lack market, but yours is an extraordinary kind of vision, and I pray that once you're stable enough, you'll get to work with different partners, because I'm sure once they come in, they'll be coming in with new ideas and actually helping to improve your vision and make it look even bigger and better. I'm even interested in joining. Can I join?
No problem, you can join. No problem, you can join.
We'll be taking a quick break, but do stay with us because we are still with Collins Pondi talking about matters to do with food waste and how to recycle food waste. We'll be having this campaign we are running on markup on the aflatoxins, and we are just creating awareness on the impact and the health effects of aflatoxins and the kinds of crops that are usually affected by aflatoxins. Some of these crops you have been mentioning are groundnuts. If you know groundnuts, one of the crops that are usually affected by aflatoxins, especially during the storage time. If you don't store your groundnuts and peanuts in a dry area that is in the correct room temperature, they are probably mostly affected by aflatoxins. And we will be telling you more about the health impacts and the health effects of aflatoxins and where they usually originate. Do visit the markup website. As you know, the campaign is being implemented by UNIDO and funded by the European Union. And here at Farmers, we are out to create awareness about aflatoxins and their dangers to human health. Do stay with us because we'll be taking a quick breather, pay some bills, and we'll be back shortly with Collins as we conclude our interview on the recycling of food waste the sustainable way. Do keep watching Farmers Media. I'll be back shortly. And you're still watching the evening farm drive with me here at A Farmers Media. I hope you're enjoying your holiday season. Where are you having or enjoying or meeting up with your family and friends? We also are with Athi Holiday Resort, where they're serving some great meals. Some kuku choma, nyama choma. If you're also having family gatherings, that's the place to be at. It's located along the river after Syokimau, and very nice, beautiful sceneries, conference facilities, the nice gardens with great ambience, and the food that is served there is just on point. So that's one place you need to make a date and visit with your family and friends and enjoy this Christmas season. You're still watching the Evening Farm Drive, and I'm still online with Collins Pondi. We have been talking about the sustainable way of recycling food waste, and today we were only focusing about on the fertilizer that they are doing. Probably, Collins, if you can come in and tell us more about this fertilizer. Where can people access it? Talk a little bit more on this fertilizer. Is it organic? Is it what kind of fertilizer is it?
Well, the type of fertilizer we produce is organic. It is very organic, very natural. As I said earlier, we don't produce a lot, but the little we produce, actually, we have some two companies that we have a contract with. That the moment we produce, we sell to them directly because they know the importance of it. One company is in Uganda, another one is in Kenya. So it is like we are producing to sell to them. It is like we are producing for them. Because the little produce, the little they buy it all of it. They buy the whole amount that we produce normally. So as you can see, the fertilizer we have is very organic, no chemicals affiliation, as natural as that. Yeah.
So it's only in granular form, or because you talked about how you separate the liquid from the solid when the waste comes in. So is it only, are you only doing a granular fertilizer, or there's also the liquid fertilizer? And if somebody wants to purchase, where can it be found? I know you said it's very minimal.
The liquid fertilizer, okay, this machine we are currently using cannot produce the liquid fertilizer. So actually the liquid,
Yeah, we'll be trying to link up with Collins as we conclude today's interview on food waste and the recycling of food waste. As you've seen from the pictures we've shown, he's one of the gentlemen who is doing, who has great ambitions, and he has a great mission from putting up ATMs where people can just be depositing their food waste, and having even a place to set up food banks for people who have excess food, because you know the main cause of food loss and food wastage is that sometimes people buy more than what they need to consume, and they end up getting spoiled. So the idea of having a food bank is one that I would root for. And yes, so food waste, this today's shows has really enlightened my mind and my thinking on the various ways that we can do to curb food loss and food waste. As I began, some parts of food products are inedible and will unavoidably become a waste stream. There are countless alternatives to manage food waste. However, the most common solution worldwide is still landfilling, which is highly damaging the environment and poses a risk to human health, whereas it does not provide any benefit. And just the way Collins has mentioned, in their company, the way they usually separate the liquid waste from solid waste, and you separate all the, even the gases, so that by the time you're having that fertilizer that they have on their field, you find it's a very healthy product that is good to be consumed by humans when they are putting on their fields, and they also don't harm the environment. We'll be trying to link up with Collins if we'll get him on the line. But meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the stories that are making heads up during this Christmas season. And there are articles here I'm seeing on new research reveals organic agriculture produces higher crop yields during periods of extreme weather. I don't know what you think about this article. The research fields that helped lead to the USDA certified organic standard have revealed that regenerative organic agriculture may hold the key to securing the global food supply as the world's climate changes. Farming systems trials at Rodale Institute has combined real-world practices and rigorous scientific analysis to document the different impacts of organic and conventional grain cropping system. The scientific data gathered from the research has established that organic management matches or outperforms conventional agriculture in ways that benefits farmers and lays a strong foundation for design and refining agricultural systems that can improve the health of people and the planet. The article makes sense, but the main challenge with organic farming has been the ability for farmers to produce enough manure or fertilizer, such as the vermicompost that is usually gotten from the redworms. Even as you've seen from the interview I've had with Collins, he's talked about the fertilizers that they are getting from the huge amount of food waste is very minimal, that they are only actually producing for one company. So people need to join in Collins's vision and this project that he's working on, so as to produce more organic fertilizer and manure for us to be able to combat the ongoing effects of climate change. There's another article here about bird flu impacts and a glance at production cost variables. The article was done by Bloomberg, and it says the article has pointed out that for now high prices are bolstering poultry farmers, though the risks are accelerating just as swiftly. Animal proteins demand is there, but the supply is not. So the article says poultry losses since October are almost 70% above last year's pace, hitting 16.1 million that was by December 1st, according to the World Organization for Animal Health. Before then, more than 138 million birds were lost in the 12 months through September, more than the prior 5 years combined. That's a report by the World Organization for Animal Health, where they're raising an alarm on the bird flu outbreak ravaging global poultry flocks. This, they're saying, is the worst since records began. Yes, in another article, we look at our the issue of to cut emissions from cattle ranching, beef up the soil. A study says a pilot project funded by the World Bank in Colombia's Vichada municipality found that land management techniques paired with the implementation of a tropical grass species increased carbon storage in the soil by more than 15%, while also avoiding the need for cyclical burning of the savanna. Now, improving the productivity of inefficient ranching practices can boost profits for ranchers while combating growing food insecurity. The study comes amid relative silence at the COP27 Climate Summit about the role of livestock in climate change. A quarter of all global emissions come from livestock industry, yet serious measures to reduce or improve these systems are not being discussed enough. That's a story that we will be taking up to find out the main reasons why some counties such as Kajiado here have been worst affected by climate. And as you've heard, One of the reasons is improving the productivity of inefficient ranching practices can boost profits of ranchers while combating growing food security. They are talking about where is that part? A quarter of all global emissions come from the livestock industry, yet serious measures to reduce or improve these systems are not being discussed enough. So as you can see, most of the global emissions come from the livestock industry, from the animal manure that we get, and from the animals grazing. It reduces the ground cover, and that's a discussion we will be carrying on into the new year, talking about what exactly is the reason why some counties are facing drought and humongous droughts as compared to other counties. Yes, so those are some of the stories that are making heads up. We'll be trying to link up with Collins. I'm not sure if he has joined. We'll be take a quick break as we try to connect with Collins. We'll be back shortly in a few seconds. Keep watching our farmers.
Farmers is the home of Africa Farmers Club and by extension African Farmers. The whole idea behind Farmers is to transform the image of an African farmer from a producer into an entrepreneur, somebody who actually does not think about how to produce onions, but how much is going to be used to produce onions, and so that way then they can be able to transform their vision, They can be able to look at their farms as businesses, and they can be able to know when to engage with the market. What we have done is that we have developed a hub where farmers bring their information, bring their questions, their challenges, and other farmers are there to come out and help. Facebook has not just been instrumental. Facebook has been a working partner for myself as well. And Facebook has actually transformed the way we relate, an open platform. My background is in tech, and I know you cannot build a platform that can reach out to so many people. Initially, it was just a few farmers in 2 counties, Machakos County and Kajiado counties, but now it has transformed. We have a stronger membership from Nigeria and Zambia than even Kenya itself, And the reason behind this is the messages I get from different farmers across Africa. And then something interesting came to my mind, and I thought about using the camera. Every time I visited farmers, I would be able to post in the community, in the group, in my own profile, and just share the story of the farmer that I visited. And then I asked myself, why wouldn't I get this information, develop it in a way that other people can be able to benefit? If we go for a training, how do we capture that so that those who are not, the farmers who are not able to come for that training, can still benefit? And hence the birth of a Farmers Media. Our mission as an organization is to help farmers, African farmers, to attain knowledge and grow profits.
And welcome to the Evening Farm Drive, the final segment of today's show. I hope you've really learnt a lot. We'll try and get a hold of Collins just to find out more on how he formulates the fertilizer and how it should be used in our subsequent shows. I hope you have had a lovely show today and you've learned a thing or two. Keep the comments coming on our social media handles here at our Farmers Media Facebook page. We are also on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Keep following us and keep sharing with us. If you also want to be featured in any of our shows, kindly let us know on our comment section. I want to leave you with a Greek proverb here that says, "A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in." That's something to ponder on this Christmas season. I hope you're sharing the extra food that you have, everything that you have, and you're spending some nice time with your family and friends. It's also my time to rush and enjoy some nyama choma with my family. Hope to be seeing you in the coming year. I've been your host, Jackie Mo. See you for now.